What's going on? Today we are putting new shocks and struts on my 2014 Silverado 1500. It is late January, as you can see, and I had the garage door open. We just come off the coldest week of the year, and now we're having the warmest couple of days we've had since fall. And I'm not complaining. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get this done. Got two new struts for the front, two new shocks for the back. I already took the bottom bolt out of the easy shock to get to. I'm doing the shocks first because the struts, that might be a whole different ball game on how hard those are going to be to do. So I just decided to do something easy first. But I'll show you where we're at. Alright, my work light's charging, so hopefully you can see this. This is the driver's side shock absorber. I went ahead and I loosened up the nut and bolt that was in here, and I was actually able to wiggle this shock to where, or wiggle the bolt and move that shock up and down to where the bolt and nut and bolt just came out. This is that. You can see the threads are a little cruddy and stuff. I'm going to take this over to the wire wheel on the bench, and I'm going to clean these up before I put it back in. Yeah, there's another bolt up here that I'm going to film me getting to in a second. And this side, it's in the opposite direction. You see it's all the way up there. I don't know how difficult that's going to be to get to. And then it's got a nut and bolt down here. So put that down. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to get started on this top bolt up here. It might be a good idea if you do this to your truck, do like I did and go ahead and just take the spare tire out. I'm probably going to reel that up all the way. But yeah, actually you can't even do this with the spare tire on the truck. So, and also a few days ahead of time, I think the reason why this came off so easy, all four bolts on the shocks and all the nuts and bolts on the front of the truck, I sprayed all of them down with PB Blaster for 2 or 3 straight days before I even did this project. And believe me, guys, that makes all the difference in the world when you do stuff like that. It could turn a halfway decent job into an extremely hard job. So, and nobody really wants to do this, but you know, my truck's got 150,000 miles on it, and this is the original suspension setup that's been on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and get camera locked down and get started on this top bolt. All right, hopefully you can see that. I'm on the top bolt right now. I looked at the nut on the other side, and I'm going to see if I can turn a little bit to get a wrench on that. Actually, that back nut ain't even moving. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, or if the nut itself is attached to this bracket. But no, it's not even moving, so I'm just going to keep going. I might go ahead and throw my breaker bar on this. These bolts are 21 millimeter, for anyone wondering. It's best to use a deep well, but I mean, if you don't have it, you can just use your regular socket. It just might be a little bit harder. No, you know what? I did not see that back nut moving. So, and the bolt's coming out. So, just going to go nice and easy. Hopefully, nothing gets corroded and just snaps on me. Fingers crossed. right, it's coming easier now. I am so thankful this truck sits in a garage and not outside in the driveway. God knows how bad it would be if it did. I mean, even that is still kind of cruddy underneath here. The dealerships, I don't know if the dealerships do it or if it comes from the manufacturer that way. They put this rubber coating, and the problem with that is that it just lifts. And when it does, it holds water underneath of it, and it corrodes twice as bad. I have unlimited washes at my local car wash, so I can get this undercarried as much as I can when the salt's on the ground. All right. It's still threading. There we go. Surprisingly, the threads do not look bad on that. I don't know if you can see that. It's just right there on the tip. I'll still clean it off though. See if we can get the shock out of here. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that nut is attached to that bracket. Boy, I like to kiss the person that came up with that one, because that makes life a whole hell of a lot easier. All right. Here's the side-by-side comparison. This is the old one here. And that's the new one. This new one is all metal, and this one kind of has a plastic on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that shock up in there top first, bolted in, and then slice this and see, because this one I could kind of compress with my hand, with both hands. I'm not so sure about that one. Need be, if I bolt it to the top and it goes down further than the bracket and I can't get it back up by hand, I could just put a jack underneath the frame of the truck and jack it up and leave the axle hanging down, and I should be able to get the nut and bolt in there. But first I got to clean these bolts up. All right. think it's screwing out, I'm not sure. Almost there. Man, cleaning them bolts off really helped. Okay. Just to make sure that they're snugged up, I'll check these after driving on it for a while. I need to get a knife. All right. Rear shock's hanging there, so I'm gonna see if I can. There it goes. And got it. All right. There we go. Yeah, cleaning up those bolts definitely helps. So even if you just have a wire brush and not a wire wheel, that'll do the trick. Alrighty. One shock in. I don't know if I want to film the other side because that's basically the same concept. So I'll get back to you when we get on the struts. Alright, we're on the front driver's side strut now. This is the top of it. The wiring harness had these keepers that go down on the studs that come up through. You just take them off with a flathead screwdriver, and you have 3 bolts. One here, here, and here. All of them are 18 millimeter. You do not want to touch that. That one is under massive compression. And what you want to do is you want to get these bolts loose before I put it in the. I'm going to do it before I put it in the air. And then I want to take the tire off, and then I'm going to jack up the frame and let the control arm down, and it should go ahead and come loose. I've replaced both the upper and lower control arms on both sides of this truck. I didn't film that, but like I said, 150,000 miles, that's when stuff, you got to replace it. Luckily, AutoZone offers lifetime warranty on a lot of that stuff. So you're going to need an 18 millimeter deep well socket. I'm not going to film this because like I need all this space to move with an extension and stuff. You're not really going to see it anyways. but just take off these three nuts. You get new nuts for the studs. Well, yeah, I think you do. You get new ones with the new strut, and you get new bolts that come up through the bottom and into the upper control arm, and I'll show you guys that when we get down to it. But for right now, I'm going to take these 3 nuts off, and then I'm just going to go ahead and jack up the truck and take that driver's side tire off, and I'll start filming again when I get down to that. Okay. It's not a bad idea while you take the nuts off those 3 studs to maybe go ahead and do it to the other side. That just gives you a head start over there. However, I'll advise you, there's a lot more hoses over there you got to go around. But you just have these 2 bolts right here. I believe they are 15 millimeter, if I'm not mistaken. I'll confirm that after I take it off. But I've already taken those bolts off because, as you can see, I've replaced both the upper and lower control arms on this truck. So I know those will come out, so I didn't spray them down. But I did spray down the top 3 studs so the nuts would come off easy on both sides. But I've done the control arms to both sides, so I know these bolts will come out. You do get new bolts with that and new nuts for the top studs. So I'll videotape me on how you can get this out of here, but I'm probably just gonna go ahead and take these bolts out without filming that. So okay, I got those bolts out of the bottom. That is 15 millimeter, by the way. And I tell you, the more I look at this, the more I am crossing my fingers that I can actually get this thing out without having to take anything else off. We'll see. Because, I mean, it's loose, so just hit that back. I may have to disconnect that upper control arm, I don't know yet. Oh, there we go. Okay. Alright. This is the side-by-side comparison of what was on the truck stock versus the Duralast ones that I got. You could tell the one on the right seen better days. But the one thing I was going to point out was those are the nuts on the studs on the new one versus the old one. To me, they look a little bit more durable, but I mean, if that's what comes on there, that's what I'm going to use. The stock struts that came off, you can see they have these keepers with the threads in them. That's what the bolt goes into. The new one just has the bolt with a nut that goes on top of it. You just put it through those holes and tighten it down. So that's what that does. All right, let's get this new strut in. Wow, I feel like such an idiot, guys. Future note, once you get it down from this, you can just pull it out there. It's my first time doing this, so I'm not... here's what we're gonna do. Since I can't reach up top, and I can't fit my hands through this cover it has right here. I can't really fit my hands through there for the nuts. I'm gonna use the truck's on jack stands right now, so I'm gonna use the jack, and I'm gonna see if I can just get this up lined up in the holes. That way I can get the nuts on it and get it compressed enough to come onto this lower control arm. I'll show you what I'm doing here. What I'm doing is trying to get this strut up far enough to come on top of this. So not well you can see that, but alright, we're lined up in the holes. I'm just going to go ahead and get the nuts on top of that stud real quick. Alright, got all three of them on. Let that down. What I'm going to do now, if I can, I'm going to get a piece of soft wood or something on that. Basically, guys, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to avoid taking apart that lower control arm. See if this works. Lower it all the way down. Oh yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Lower it down, get straight on it. Ooh, there we go. I've always said, if you can, do it with somebody else, or if you gotta lift and make your life easier. All right, that should be on now. New bolts. I might have to get underneath and do this. Okay. Well, that one one's in. All right, I got it. What I did was I put a C-clamp. I angled it on there, as you can see, and I was able to get it back far enough just to get that nut, or not the nut, the bolt up through there. So both sides are up now. I just got to put the nuts on and tighten it down. And then I'm going to tighten down the ones on that, the ones right there up top. All right, I got it done. There's the bottom bolts and then the top bolts. I'll give you a better look at that. Yep, just went ahead and just tighten them down. Now the last thing you got to do before you call it quits is these little keepers, or for the harness, you just put them right back down. Down on it. Just like that. Just hold your harness up and keeps everything out of it. Now, removal and installation on the passenger side is the same thing, so I'm not going to film it. I'm going to do it the exact same way I did the driver's side. So, hopefully this will help you guys out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next project.